Growth is not linear. So please stop expecting you to grow in straight lines. I mean, if you look at the nature even, the nature has these seasons as well. You know, during the fall, the trees just, leave their leaves. And in winter they rest. And come spring and summer, they start growing again. That's one example. So there is a cycle in the growth. When you learn new things, you kind of get like new realizations, new ideas, revelation, whatever you want to call them. It's often also very, very important that you let them to sink in. If you would keep on growing and growing and growing and not letting those new learnings to sink in, you would just overwhelm yourself. So you need to also take time and contemplate, rest, and really let those learnings to become a natural part of your growth process and who you are. And the same goes also with regressions. Sometimes you seem to be taking steps back, and for whatever reason, I don't know. But sometimes it's also the nature's way of saying, okay, hold on, you're going too fast. Take a step back. What did you really learn? And again, reflect on it. It's also partly because of our nervous system. There are limits in our although our nervous system is absolutely amazing thing. It has its limits. And also for the nervous system, for those new habits to really get habitualized, they need time. And like I have explained in my other videos, the ego's resistance is huge. So you need to also take time to let the ego kind of do its work and allow your ego to accept those changes and let the ego kind of dissolve on whatever topics you have been working on. So the point is also to a lot of the new information, the growth to happen to integrate into your nervous system, your ego, and your spirit or soul or your true self. Sometimes you also might feel that you're not really growing, that you are just like in a stale stage. But if you stop and reflect a little bit on your life, you might realize that, hold on, you have formed some new ways of reacting to things. Maybe you don't get that annoyed anymore with somebody or something that happens in your environment. Maybe you have some new awarenesses. You kind of like, you realize that, hey, I'm aware of my, let's say, my feelings, or I'm more aware of the subtle signs of the other people's emotional states. Maybe you realize that you are more able to read other people. Those kind of awarenesses. One sign of your growth, advancement in your growth, might be just also that you realize that you recover faster from whatever setbacks you have, or maybe your illnesses or flu or whatever that might be. So the main point really is that growth requires patience. If you expect to really go fast all the time, fast forward, without taking the time to reflect and allow those changes to really take place in your whole nervous system, your ego and your spirit, then that might be also a thing to holding you back from your growth. Growth also requires presence. One good way to feel present is to meditate, of course. You teach yourself to be still, to be present in the present moment. But even just, breathing several times a day, just taking time, taking deep breath, and just feel present with the moment. And then there's this one thing that might be the most difficult for most people, and that is surrender. Surrender yourself, your thoughts, your ego to what is. Surrender yourself to those things that you cannot change. You cannot change really other people and most of the things in the environment. Just let that go. Surrender means also letting go. Letting go of those things that don't serve you, surrender them, just let them go, leave them. And let go again on those things that are not under your control and you still try to kind of change those things. Concentrate on yourself and on those things that you are in charge of. And when you really think about that, it's really just yourself, your thoughts, your behaviors, your emotional states. And when you get control of those and surrender all the rest, that might be a good way for you to advance with your growth. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you find these topics of self-growth, self-development, and these kind of things very interesting for you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok and wherever I might be. Because I have created a lot of content and I will keep on doing that. So if that is of interest to you, please subscribe and follow. Thank you so much. Be well.